Peppa the Great Detective!
Peppa, Susie, and George are playing in the backyard today, and the sun shines in a blue sky. Mummy Pig appears through the window, watching the three children play. The trees in the background suggest a nearby forest, giving a touch of mystery. Peppa and George are playing with a ball while Susie Sheep is riding her bike, and George says,
"My turn now!"
and he takes the ball with his hand to have his chance to play, and Peppa, irritated, says,
"George, you can't use your hands in football!"
Peppa, George, come see this.
Mysterious sticks! Peppa and George run over to Susie, who is kneeling by the fence looking at the ground.
"What's wrong, Susie? Did you find any buried treasure?"
Look at these footprints. They don't look like anyone we know.
George looks carefully and says,
"Dinosaur!" "George, everything is a dinosaur to you."
The three children then begin to observe the footprints more closely, curious to find out what those brands are about. So, Susie says,
They're small, but they have a funny shape. They don't look like chickens or rabbits.
If they are not from an animal we know, it can only be a mystery. Mystery? Yes! And who better to solve a mystery than Detective Peppa?
Peppa places her hands on her hips and raises her nose, assuming an investigator's posture. She then goes home and gets her hat and her investigator's magnifying glass, which are part of her detective kit that she got from Aunt Dottie last Christmas. Of course, George also has his hat. Properly equipped, Peppa then speaks to George and Susie.
First, we need to follow the footprints to find out where they came from. That's right!
I'm going to record everything in my notebook about the case.
Perfect!
The three begin to follow the footprints, which lead to the fence and then continue towards the woods. As they cross the fence, they find some colorful feathers scattered across the ground.
Feathers! Dinosaur with feathers! George, dinosaurs don't have feathers. I don't think so.
Actually, Peppa, I read in a book that some dinosaurs had feathers. Maybe George is right.
Interesting. Let's write this down as clue number 1, colorful feathers.
They continue walking, following the footprints, until they reach a bush that appears to be swaying.
It's there! The dinosaur is hidden! Not so fast, sidekick George. First, we need to check carefully.
Peppa approaches slowly with Susie and George close behind. She uses a stick to push aside the branches of the bush and, to everyone's surprise, a small creature jumps out.
It's a peacock.
A peacock? But what is a peacock doing here in the woods? Maybe he ran away from somewhere?
Or maybe he's looking for something.
Another mystery to solve. Detective Peppa never gives up. Let's follow the peacock to find out more.
The friends continue following the peacock, who guides them to a clearing where there is a small wooden gate with a sign that says, Secret Garden.
A secret garden! This is getting more exciting with each track.
Let's go in and explore. Maybe the peacock came here for some reason.
Are there more dinosaurs? With feathers?
Peppa laughs but nods enthusiastically.
Let's find out together. The adventure is just beginning.
More clues! Peppa then says,
I saw in a movie that we always need to go back to the first clue to better understand what is happening. Let's go, George and Susie.
Peppa then runs back to the place where everyone was at the beginning of the game and starts looking around the pig family's house. She then says,
Detective Peppa is ready for action. Susie, you will be my note-taking assistant.
Susie Sheep smiles and takes a stick as a pen, joining in on the fun.
I'm ready, Detective Peppa.
And George, you will be my aide-de-camp. You can use this magnifying glass. Dinosaur Detective George.
While the children discuss how to begin the investigation, Mummy Pig comes out of the house carrying a basket of clothes to hang.
Peppa, what are you up to now?
We're solving a big mystery, Mom. We found mysterious footprints.
Oh, they look interesting. But remember, stay where I can see you, okay?
The children agree in chorus with Mummy Pig. Now they are ready to begin the adventure in order to discover the mystery, and to do so, the search must begin. Next, the footprints, each person interpreting the clues in their own way. With her special tools, Susie says,
The footprints lead towards the woods where we find something scary.
Nothing is scary for Detective Peppa. Come on. Adventure calls us. Adventure! Dinosaur adventure!
They follow the footprints until they reach the entrance to the woods at the back of the yard, a seemingly mysterious place for children. When stopping at a strategic point, Peppa says,
Now we need to be careful. Forests can have surprises.
Like which ones?
Maybe more footprints, or a chest full of treasure, or even a friendly monster.
Monster dinosaur!
The children disappear into the trees as the sound of laughter and lively conversations echoes through the yard. Mummy Pig looks out the window with a smile, shaking her head. And it says,
They have so much imagination. It will be fun to see where this ends.
The footprints continue on the forest floor. Leading the trio even deeper, the three feel as if they were in a film about the most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Inside the forest, the trees are tall and sway slightly in the wind. The mysterious footprints continue towards a small trail. Peppa, George, and Susie remain excited, but begin to encounter small challenges. The kids come to a split in the trail with two different paths and are confused about which way to go. And Peppa says,
They go both ways. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe the owner of the footprints split. Could we be dealing with something magical?
Magical dinosaur!
No, George. There is no magical dinosaur. We need to think logically, like real detectives. What would Sherlock do in this situation?
After thinking a lot, they decide to head left, where the footprints seem clearer but end up finding a small stream blocking the path. While trying to cross the stream, Peppa steps on a slippery rock and almost falls into the water. And Susie says,
Peppa, take care. We don't want you to get all wet or fall. It could be dangerous.
I am fine. Detectives always find a way through.
George fits!
Trying to jump, George almost slips, but Susie catches him in time. The detective almost got wet.
Be careful, George. You can't get hurt. We need to continue the search. If that happens, we would have to go home.
That's right. Besides, we need to be together to solve the mystery.
Well remembered, Susie. The mystery is waiting for us. We just need to find a way to get past this obstacle.
Maybe we should work together to get through. Peppa, you can lead, but we all help.
Maybe you're right, Susie.
The three decide to cross at once, all holding hands, and so, with Susie and George helping to find safer rocks, they successfully cross the stream, showing that unity is strength in these cases. Madame Gazelle, help! Soon after, they encounter Madame Gazelle, who is collecting flowers in the woods.
Now, what are you doing so far from home, kids?
We're solving a big mystery, Madame Gazelle. We are following mysterious footprints.
Mysteries can be fun, but they also require a lot of attention and teamwork.
We're learning this right now.
Very good. Now, watch out for the frogs. They can mess up your mysterious footprints.
Frogs? That would explain the small footprints. Thank you, Madame Gazelle.
Let's keep a closer eye on them, Madame Gazelle.
Furthermore, children need to be careful, as there are poisonous animals. So stay away from colourful animals.
Are colors bad?
Not Peppa, but poisonous animals tend to have brighter colours to help them catch their prey. Have you ever seen frogs with different colours?
Yes, only on Madame Gazelle television.
I've seen it when I went camping with my family, and we were careful with them.
You see, there are secrets in nature too, which allow species to protect themselves.
I didn't know that, Madame Gazelle. I'm going to be careful to stay away from colorful animals. I don't want to get sick.
That's far from frogs.
That's right, children. You can't be too careful when it comes to avoiding accidents. And don't forget to come home soon, as it might get late and worry your parents.
As they continue, they find frog prints on the trail, but the mysterious footprints still go on. The children begin to doubt whether they are really solving the mystery, and then Susie says,
Peppa, I don't think these footprints lead anywhere.
Nowhere.
Detectives never give up. Let's continue. We're almost there. I can feel it.
But what about these ones?
Peppa and George turn around and discover that they haven't yet investigated all the footprints, and that there is still a mystery to be solved, and that they are the only ones who can reveal all the secrets of those new mysterious footprints. The end of the mystery. They follow the footprints to a clearing where they find Miss Rabbits. She has a basket full of cookies and tea. He smiles when he sees the children arriving. Little detectives looking for adventure.
You found my footprints. I was taking these cookies to the clearing.
So, the footprints were yours all along, Miss Rabbits?
We're guessing there was a mystery. But it was just Miss Rabbits wanting a good place for a picnic.
Yes, I was looking for a quiet place for my afternoon tea. Do you want to join me?
Of course. After all this, I'm hungry.
Cookies!
Wait, something isn't right. The footprints we follow don't seem to be just Mr. Fox's.
In truth, some were very small, and others seemed bigger.
Dinosaur!
Peppa gets up and starts investigating around the clearing. She notes that in addition to Miss Rabbit's footprints, there are marks scattered in various directions.
Real detectives need to solve the whole mystery. Let's follow these other footsteps.
Well, you have attentive eyes. I saw these marks myself when I arrived here.
But we will investigate whether we need to reach the end of the case and thus discover all the secrets of who is leaving these strange footprints, even if it is risky.
We are the bravest, and we will discover everything behind this case.
Dinosaur.
The children follow the new footprints together, which lead to a large bush. Peppa carefully moves the branches aside and discovers, on the other side of the bush, they find a family of rabbits. Among them is Rebecca Rabbit, who jumps in surprise when she sees her friends.
Peppa. Susie. George. What are you doing here?
We are solving a mystery. Were you the ones leaving those footprints?
Yes. We were running around in the woods and ended up making a mess.
So the small footprints were yours, and the big ones?
Rebecca points to a nearby log, where there's a pair of large boots left by chance.
These boots belong to Mr. Doris. He was helping Santa Rabbit chop wood yesterday.
Mystery solved.
The children return to the clearing, where Miss Rabbit serves tea and cookies to everyone. Peppa reflects on the importance of working as a team.
Today we learned that solving mysteries is more fun when we do them together, and that we need to pay attention to every detail. Furthermore, we learn to observe more and not give up when we encounter difficulties.
Dinosaur tea.
Everyone laughs, celebrating the end of a great adventure with lots of fun and learning. The atmosphere is one of joy and fulfillment. Peppa looks at her friends and realizes that even with different ideas, working as a team has made them stronger. Mummy Pig followed in the children's footsteps and found them, as she was worried when she could no longer see them in the woods. The children, Mummy Pig and Miss Rabbits, are sitting in the clearing, sharing tea and cookies. The sun begins to set, turning the sky orange.
Today was a very fun day, but I don't think we would have ever solved the mystery on our own.
And truth, each of us helped in a different way.
Dinosaur help too.
The important thing is that you learned that working as a team makes things easier and much more fun.
And also that using your imagination turns any ordinary day into a great adventure.
Yes, but now I think it's time for us to go home.
Furthermore, you learned that to solve a mystery, you have to overcome obstacles to reach the final result.
Everyone starts packing their things to leave. Peppa and her friends take one last look at the clearing, satisfied with their great adventure. And it says,
Today we learned that with friends and teamwork, we can solve any mystery.
And that there is always room for fun, especially with tea and biscuits.
George trips over a small branch in the path, and everyone stops and he says,
Dinosaur footprints.
and everyone bursts into laughter at George's scene. The family returns home and Susie Sheep's mom is waiting for them. Susie says goodbye to her adventurous friends and tells them everything they have experienced, and she can hardly believe that she has a brave explorer at home who is ready to embark on adventures to discover the truth. The lesson learned by the children goes beyond discovering the mystery. Today, the little ones also learned the value of teamwork, and that sometimes it takes courage to move forward with your challenges. With that, Mummy Pig is pleased that her children learned this afternoon. If you enjoy Peppa's incredible universe, you know you're in the right place. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next videos, okay? We're leaving 2 really cool videos for you to explore a little more of Peppa's world with us. Until later.